Hey everyone, it's James DeGrazia with Firetide Fishing here, coming back at you with another episode of Put It on the Line. So today, what we're really going to focus on is pre-trip planning. So it's going to be about plan, because if you don't plan, you plan to fail. So before you get out into the open ocean, it's always good to have a good plan in place and exactly knowing where you're going, the capacities of your boat, and then being able to let people know through a communication plan on where you're going, when you're going to communicate with them, and when you're coming back. So this is very important. It's really important to get intimate with your boat, knowing its capacity, knowing its capabilities, knowing where you're going, when you're going, and what the weather is going to be like when you're there. All right? So let's do this for an example. You're using a offshore boat. So it's got a deep V hull. So it has the capabilities to get offshore, right? Which means you're not only limited to calm days. You could go out when it's a little bit rough, right? And still have a comfortable ride depending on how wavy it is on the wave interval when you're looking up the tides and everything like that before you go. Once again, pre-trip planning. If you have a bay boat, you're going to be kind of stuck to going out on those calm days that are beneficial for you, but also for the capabilities of your boat. All right. And then knowing what your fuel capacity is. So, say, for example, my center console has a 60-gallon tank, right? And I know my motor, right, has a miles per gallon running at its premium cruising rate, which is at 4,000 to 5,000 RPM of 3.5 miles per gallon. So you do the math, 60 gallons times 3.5 miles, it'll tell you the range of the boat. Now it's important to factor in the fact that you're going to burn fuel to get to your fishing spot and you're going to burn fuel going back. You're also going to burn fuel depending on what you're doing while you're at your fishing spot. Are you trolling? Are you moving back and forth to locations so you could drift? Are you just bottom fishing, right? Are you going to be anchored? You got to factor all of that in. Are you going to do all of them together, right? So it's always good to plan to have a reserve of fuel, right? Just in case of emergencies. If you want to assist somebody that's trapped out in the ocean, if you feel like you want to go on an adventure, if the fishing's really good, the last thing you want to do is leave fishing because you're running out of fuel. It's always good to carry extra scepters, right? Just as long as they're approved, right? And that they don't leak, because the last thing you want is a fire on your boat, right? So just pre-plan. Know where you're going, know the capabilities of your boat, know the weather that's coming up, research the tides, right? Also do the calculations. Know the distance, know the time, know how much fuel you're going to burn, and I guarantee you're going to be more successful. Now, I'm going to show you an application that I use on the computer, right? It's called fishingstatus.com. You could get maps, information on fishing spots, and then you could download the actual information, the GPS information on SIM cards to load into your information. People have done the legworks to map out reefs, oil platforms, obstructions in the water, right? Shipwrecks, fishing spots, marinas, piers, bait and tackle locations. They got it all, folks. So if you stay tuned here at Firetide Fishing, I will show you the ins and outs of this website. You could also go do it for yourself. We'll post some links there on our Facebook page, Firetide Fishing on Facebook. We got a Facebook page. We got a Facebook group. Feel free to message, comment on there as well. Feel free to hit me up directly. Hit me directly there, or you could do it on Instagram, or you can even do it at the bottom of this YouTube video. Please feel free to comment. Once again, thank you for joining us. It's really important for you to give us a thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, and definitely contribute. Feel free to comment below. All right, let's get right into it. So this is the website right here. It's called Fishing Status. You can go to it at fishingstatus.com, or you could just Google your location fishing spots, and then your location into Google, put it in and look for anything that has fishingstatus.com. So here we're going to go deeper into the actual program itself. So here you can see there's a breakdown. There's spots, right? So you could get your platforms, oil platforms, reefs, rocks, shipwrecks, vegetation, boat ramps, and fishing spots map. There's also links to reports. You go through the directory, it'll get you information on where bait and tackle is, charters and guides, marinas, piers, and you could even add your business details if you want. You could even go by species of fish, right? And it'll even help you doing calculators like we were talking about recently. So let's go take a look into some more aspects of this site. So when you click on the fishing spots map, it's going to look overwhelming. In my opinion, there's lots of stuff on here, and you can see how detailed it is. It's pretty much all over the world. So if we're looking into my locations, so we're going to focus on the specifics on where I want to fish, right? So it's going to take a bit here for it to load up, of course. Nothing is ever perfect. But here in Texas, I like to focus on the Gulf Coast. So just bear with me here while we get all this stuff loaded up. All right, so we're looking at the South Padre area. South Padre is right in here. It's got everything in the Laguna Madre for anything you want to do with regards to redfish, anything inshore with regards to sea trout, speckled trout. And then when you go to the marina itself, you can see, exactly where your locations are to buy bait, where you could launch your boat. These spots themselves are all labeled out along here of exactly what all these things are, right? So even if you click on the dot, it'll even populate information on what it is. So this is Sponge Gardens. It's a fishing spot. So obviously whoever came there named it, put it in the database for that reason. So this application is great because you could then utilize the measuring distance tool. Measuring distance is great because then you can utilize all those aspects that we spoke with previously to see exactly how far you have to travel to that spot. This will also help you with navigation to get bearings, distance, so that if something were to happen, you could make notes on this information. You could get the GPS coordinates. You could load this stuff in your map. You have backups in case your technology fails. You could measure out the bearing distance from that port to know exactly how to get back. You could plan your trip appropriately. So I would totally recommend for anybody to go take a look at fishingstatus.com. Please remember this. Plan, plan, plan. If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. Thank you for joining us today at Fire Tide Fishing. I hope you keep your lines tight, and I hope to see you out there. Feel free to message us on Facebook at Fire Tide Fishing. We got a Facebook group and page. Feel free to message and comment in there as well. Feel free to hit me up directly. You can even see us on Instagram, or even just make comments on this YouTube posting below. Hope you have a great day, and once again, thank you.